Okay, this is going to be a quick overview of what you need to do in order to write uh, your Learning Target 2 and 4 assessment on the human t-shirt pheromone study. First of all, what you need to write, you need to tell me the question, you need to write a hypothesis, and in the hypothesis you're going to use the class notes, the notes that we took in class on pheromones, to justify whether you believe we can identify gender using pheromones. This should be written before you look at our class's data. I want you to look at the research for other animals and pheromones and the research on humans and pheromones and tell me what that makes you believe about our ability to use pheromones to identify gender. Then make a data table. It's going to need to include the data that I'm about to show you. So rewrite this data. And then finally a conclusion. In the conclusion, you're going to discuss the data and what it means about your hypothesis in question. You're going to need to discuss averages of all the t-shirts together, and also your thoughts about specific t-shirts and the data from specific shirts. You need to read the rubric. Read the rubric, read the rubric, read the rubric. Include all information, especially those about limitations. And if you're not sure if it's good enough, you could always bring it to me next week and I'll check it over and tell you whether you got it correct or not and whether you need to add some more to it. Remember, this is your last attempt, so you want these to be your very best scores. Here's the data. That's not the data. Here's the data. What this shows is the shirt number. We had 12 shirts that we looked at. The percent that thought that shirt was male, the percent that thought that shirt was female. The yellow indicates which it was. So this was a male. 77% of you thought it was a male. This was a male. 51% of you thought it was a male. Essentially, there were two choices, male or female. So if the choice had been random and we couldn't tell gender, you would expect the ratio to be about 50-50. Okay, because it's random. It's like flipping a coin. If it's more than 50-50, then something other than randomness is happening, and we might actually be able to identify gender. So of the 12 shirts, as a class, out of 65 students that looked at them, you guys got the shirt right 10 out of the 12 times. The shirts that you got wrong were this shirt number 10. No, you got that one right. Shirt number 9, sorry. 37% of you thought it was a female, and it was a female. So that's less than 50% of you thought it was a female. So you got that one wrong, and you got shirt number 5 wrong. All the others were more than 50%. So you got it right. Each person in the class, their vote counted for 1.5%. So a really close one like this, that's just one person difference that makes it swing from getting it right and saying 51% male to 49% female. Others are a little larger, like this is 77%. That's many students that guessed male more than guessed female, so that's a stronger piece of data. But all in all, you want to look at the total 12 shirts. We got it right 10 times. Again, if it had been random, we should have gotten 6 of them right and 6 of them wrong. It would have just been random. But we got 10 out of 12 right. That's 83% of the time you guys as a class were able to correctly identify gender. So you have to decide whether that means that humans can identify gender using smell or using pheromones. Write about it. Talk about limitations, like some of these data points that are close. Limitations like people assuming things about smell, like smelly things are boys and not smelly things are girls, and other limitations. Some of these data where there was a really strongly male response, those shirts tended to also smell very strongly, so I think people were guessing male more often as a result. If you have other questions about this, let me know on Monday.